Joining us now is One Nation leader Pauline Hanson. Good morning to you, Pauline. It was a busy weekend in Queensland with the Fadden by-election. Were you surprised by the result?
Not at all, actually. As we understand, cost of living, crime on the Gold Coast, it is a blue ribbon Liberal seat, and the Gold Coast is generally that. But also tells you that people don't want Albanese and his voice. I think it reflects that. One Nation, we kept our same vote as what we did in the previous election, but the Greens went backwards. That tells you again, they don't want the Greens Labor policies. And I think if the Liberal Party really work hard on the cost of living, and it all comes down to, and I've said this time and time again, the cost of living is, from rising cost of electricity, no matter what you do, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's farming, it all comes to rising cost of electricity that has to be passed on to the consumer. And I think that's what needs to happen, is to rein back on the cost of living by reining back on the cost of electricity, put in coal-fired power stations, go to nuclear, have a diversity of different power sources that we need to have.
One Nation didn't make huge gains in Fadden. Was that a bit disappointing to you?
Look, we maintain our vote. When the Greens went back, and when you had a field of 13 candidates, it tells you something too, that we're doing extremely well. I was very happy with the vote. We didn't go backwards, and people are quite happy with One Nation. So no, I'm not disappointed in that at all. I think our candidate, Sandy, did an excellent job.
Were you hoping to pick up a few more protest votes maybe from those disillusioned with the major parties? Yeah, look, I probably thought that. But like I said, when you had a wide field of candidates, that's where the protest vote went to all the other independents. And when you only have 3 or 4 that stand, it makes a big difference. But when you got 13, that's where the protest vote actually goes. I went down on the pre-polling on last Friday, and I got a very good response. Also, remember, Queensland, Anastasia Palaszczuk is on the nose in Queensland. People don't want Labor. They're fed up with her, the rising crime that's happening right across the state, and so it's also backlash. Remember, Labor didn't go ahead at all. The Libs picked up some votes because it's basically a 2 major party race. When you come to a by-election, people either decide, do they want Liberal or do they want Labor? Well, Labor called it a lethargic win for the coalition. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. Of course, they've got to downplay the fact that the Libs actually increased their vote, and they've got to downplay it, which they always do. And both sides of politics do it. But Labor, it is a clear indication that people are not happy with Albanese and his government. They're not happy with Palaszczuk, because people get confused between state and federal elections and what the policies are. But it's a clear indication. Labor is not doing as well as what they would like. They would like to have increased their vote. They never increased their vote. So the whole fact is, this means it's a backlash to Anthony Albanese.